Look at you.
So you saw.
I have to thank Val because she sent the reminder. I was remembering, but when I saw hers, I was like, oh, yep, thank you, Val. Where is everybody? Is it just my Wi-Fi or can y'all see each other?
Well, I haven't turned my camera on yet because I was still eating supper.
Okay, I'm the only person who can see then. I mean, I can see myself. Don't make me talk to myself, you guys.
There, I'm back. And you'll just watch me eat my cheese sticks.
That's okay. I'm going to be eating pizza in a minute.
So you're streaming.
I guess it did seem very antisocial. We aren't usually antisocial.
But we're hungry.
Okay.
My picture of Logger is a lot cuter than me, so I'm doing everyone a favor.
Well, it's hard to be cuter than a 10-week-old golden retriever puppy.
Laura, are you taking attendance?
Done.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to give a couple of reminders before we kind of give it to you guys and let you ask some questions. So one of the reminders or suggestions is that it's really important that we get our dogs around kids. So if you don't have access to kids, find somewhere to go. You know, maybe visit a daycare center, maybe a summer camp, just places where our dogs can be around kids. If you're around kids a lot, then not an issue. But if you're not, if that's just not in your wheelhouse to be with kids, find some, because it's super important that our dogs have that experience and you get to see how they act around kids. Those of you guys that go to Buddy Break, awesome. They're seeing kids all the time. But those of you that do not, really need to find some children, preferably 10 and under. It can be babies, but it needs to be younger kids that they can see that are unpredictable. Maybe go to a playground, visit a playground, and, you know, just explain to people that you're not a stalker, that your dog's in training, and this is one of the things that they need to do. So that's just real important that we expose them to children. The thing that I always remind you about is just making sure your dog is clean when they go out. Obviously they're dogs, so they're going to smell like a dog, but they shouldn't smell like a dog. There's a difference there. There's, you know, if you can smell your dog, then your dog probably needs a bath. But if you can be around them and not really smell that they smell like a dog, they're probably okay. Places to check, just, you know, be checking the boys in those areas and in their butt to make sure that they're clean. That's important anyway, keeping those areas clean. So please keep that in mind. The other thing especially with the Goldens, is their matting. Super important that we're paying attention to their matting. We're making sure that they're not matting. The Labs don't deal with that, but the Goldens do. So, you know, check under their armpits, you know, that's a place for them. Have them roll over underneath their tummy area is a great place for mats to start. And, you know, they start little, and boy, they can grow really big in a quick amount of time.
And it's hot spot season.
Yes, thank you. I was just going to say that. Yep. Go for it.
No, I was just, if your dogs get wet, be sure they get dried off really good. Just keep your eye out. If you see a little spot, a little redness, a little bump, a little, wonder, Gold Bond powder right then.
Yep. 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 Also, for those of you that do wash your dog at home, try a blower. I just recently, I don't know why I didn't think of this a while ago, but I just recently used the blower on Micah. Oh my God, this dog loves it. He lays on the ground, rolls around for me, lets me blow all of him. He doesn't care. Where Quinn is like, oh no, she'll go hide. She will have nothing to do with it. So try the blower. If especially when you're thinking about hot spots, it's a great thing to use to blow their hair out. And you can see it when you're blowing them. So some dogs will not take it. They'll be like, but some dogs will be like, oh, that's not so bad. So try it. You don't want to scare them to death, but definitely try it, because one, it's good for the noise, the blowing. There's so many things about exposing them to a blower that's beneficial. And one of them is just blowing them out so you can see it. It blows right down to their skin, and you can see if there's red blotches or, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I was quite excited when Micah was so good about it and just handled it so well. I mean, in fact, the other day he had leaves and stuff on him, and I just took the blower and blew him off. And he rolled around for me and just took it. So if you've not tried your blower on your dog, you know, just maybe go outside and turn it on and see how they respond. If they
Are
run.
you talking a leaf blower or
Yeah.
a blow dryer?
No, a leaf blower. Yes, he loves it. It's ridiculous. It's so funny to me. Yes, it's a leaf blower, and I can just blow him and he'll be like, woohoo. I think he thinks he's getting a massage.
Wendy, I think you need to get a video of this for the next training session.
Okay, I will. Absolutely.
Including the blooper reel.
It's pretty fun. Well, I'll video him and I'll video Quinn. Quinn is like, oh, heck no, you're not doing that to me. But Micah, he hears the blower now. Come on. Yes, Dina, you're on mute. You look like you had your hand up.
No, I had a friend walk in, so I didn't know, wanted to make
Oh,
sure you had
no.
clothes
No
on.
That's funny. So yeah, so it is a leaf blower, and it makes lots of noise, and he'll do it when the blower is on high. He doesn't care. And he'll get on the ground for me. He'll roll around. I blow him off. And I just am suggesting that one for exposure. It's a great exposure. The noise, the blowing. Some of our dogs will not handle it well, but it really is good, especially after you've given them a bath. So just a suggestion. And I will, next Zoom training, I'll have a video of Micah being blown by the leaf blower. Anything else, Laura, that we need to just remember before we start with questions?
We have a training this weekend. And all of you with puppies, it's really important that you come, because we have a special session just for you to start. And if you don't come, then we don't have a puppy session. But we do have, so woohoo. And that's 1 o'clock at the Obedience Club Daytona. And I'll dig up the address and put it in the chat in case you haven't found it. And I'll get that out.
So I have a quick question. So everybody else comes at 1:30? That's
Yes.
the plan? Okay.
And if you have a puppy, you don't have to leave. We're just giving the pups a break. They can take a rest. They can go over and play on the agility part. You can hang out and watch. And then if your pup's had a break and is ready to go again, come back and join us. But we just know that, especially those little pups, sometimes it's a lot. And we've just kind of pushed them through 2 hours of muchness. And we thought, you know, we can do better than that.
Yeah,
Okay.
your 8 and 10-month-old puppies might be able to make it through the whole thing. So you know your dog. But those younger pups, it can be a lot. So, you know, just hanging out and watching what the rest of the big dogs are doing is a great opportunity.
Yeah, I
Laura,
have Timon right now, who's 10 months old. And there's just a lot of things that are new for him. So he would be one that I would go, well, we'll have to see.
Yep.
And oh, by the way, he's available this weekend if anybody would like to puppy sit a 10-month-old.
Laura will not be there, but Sue Napier will be there. And one of our puppy raisers who works at the OCOD will also be there, Nina. She's raised some dogs for us. And I want to say Linda Eastlake.
We're hoping.
So, yes.
Yes, Val, you need 4.
Marilyn Gaffney is also coming.
Awesome.
Good,
Wonderful. Okay.
good.
All right.
Just make
Thank you.
sure that
We'll
she's
let
coming.
Sue, she'll need to introduce herself to Sue.
Okay.
You know, or you can introduce her, whatever, just so Sue can see who's there.
Awesome. Leaving you all in very capable hands.
Okay,
will
so
think-
questions that you have, concerns that you have. Things you wonder about.
I have a follow-up question to the training this weekend. What is next month?
Next month is IKEA.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Trying to find an indoor air-conditioned space for August.
good idea. Okay.
And
I've never been to an IKEA, so that'll be fun.
yeah, the
It's an
IKEA training
adventure.
we did, when was the last one we did? November?
November, right before Christmas time.
It was good. It was well, it was pouring rain, which was a problem, but people came anyway. And then we kind of did a little bit of training in the lobby, and then we turned you loose. Because there's lots of things to do there.
It's a good training to bring a tug. If you have a tug that has a beaner on it, or if you have something you can tie, there are lots of kitchen setups that you can practice cabinets and cupboards and all of those kinds of good things. Just attaching a tug to it. My kitchen cabinets don't have any hardware, so I have to go somewhere to practice tugging open a cupboard.
Wendy and Laura, I have a IKEA question. Last time the employee got upset when someone, not me, had their dogs go through the kitty tunnels.
That was me.
Okay. I don't know who it was. It doesn't matter who it was, but I
I'm
wouldn't
gonna
call
tell-
anyone out.
I'm going to talk to the manager before we go
Okay.
to make sure that we're copacetic on what we plan to do, and he can talk to his people.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I thought it was a great idea to send the dog through the tunnel.
Me
but-
too.
Yeah. I just, if we can get some direction at the beginning of the IKEA session on what's appropriate, what's not, like stairs, an elevator, that kind of stuff, and then tunnels and,
Yep.
yeah. Thank you.
For sure.
Laura, do you have that guy's email that
You sent it to me long ago. I'm sure I do.
I'll
I
find
just
it.
haven't
I'll find
found
it.
it lately. It's just August is just sneaking up on me.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
like,
send it to you
really?
again. I'll find it. But yeah, Katie, that was totally me, because I thought the dog should be able to go through the tunnel. Like, they most of their stuff, they don't sell off the floor, right? You got to go get it. And that
Right.
that was not a floor, it was a floor model. It wasn't one that anybody would buy. So yeah, that employee was ridiculous. I don't know if anybody was there and saw that, but I saw it.
Yeah. I think any employee that's upset that dogs are there is having a bad day. It has nothing to do with us.
Yeah, she should have gone home taking a nap.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was so, I mean, I just didn't even, I was so shocked by her response, and I was like, okay, bye. I didn't even know what to say to her. So it was all good.
Okay, the address for the Obedience Club, Daytona Beach. And if you think, oh my gosh, where is this? And it looks a little sketchy, don't worry, you're in the right spot.
Right. It is a little sketchy.
The neighborhood is a little, but it's just right off of major roads. But
And it's in what an old grocery store, so that it'll be in a plaza if you've never been there.
Yeah.
But they've done a nice job of having stuff set up and ready for us, and so, and it's wonderful that we can use it for free. Okay, questions. Questions. Things you want to know. No question is a silly question. Oh, come on,
I
you
have a
guys.
question. Curtis, do you have a dog at the moment?
I do not.
Okay, you just missed us.
For
I love
shame,
it.
for shame.
Both Sandra and I, before we put the feet of our recliners down last night, we both checked to see if there was a dog under it.
So see, you're ready again.
No. I'm still taking my break.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Break? What's that?
It's been 7 days, is what I've seen so far from you.
7 days. Right. Oh, that's funny.
All right, I have a question.
Good.
Our new house has a pool, and this is now the second dog we've had in the house. But this one knew how to swim. The first one did not. So, it's like a whole chore to keep him out of the pool. So I'm just, I mean, it's not like, it's not, it's not like something that we did, but it's just like, he knows what a pool is.
Mhm.
Where the puppy had no idea and was just like, I'll just go around it. Like, this
Right.
isn't my spot.
Right.
But like, he knew what the pool was. And I mean, we're working on it. He's always leashed now on the lanai. But he really likes the pool.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was raised by Laura and I. I had a pool.
Okay.
I don't think I encouraged him to go in, but I'm sure all of my dogs probably have gone in. I try
Right.
not to encourage them. If I get a dog that likes to go in, I pretty much have to do the same thing that you're doing.
Okay.
The goal is to have them sit out there with you in the shade and just enjoy the pool from afar.
Right. Yeah. The problem I'm having is like, I try to go in the pool and I leave him inside, and he's tearing up my woodwork because he's like, let me out. I want to go in the pool with you. So then I've been crating him and he still loses his mind. So we're just working on it. I mean, it's just working on it, but I know he's a water dog and I know that possibly he'll swim in one day, but I'm like, I don't want him to be pulling somebody into the pool.
Right. Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
So
It
so
might
I
be an
guess,
opportunity to work on your downstay.
Yep.
Mhm. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Short time, short
Yeah.
distance, short time at first.
And then if you have to put him in the crate, put him in the crate with a fan on or radio on so that, he knows, nope, I'm not listening to you, because you guys shouldn't have to miss pool time because your dog's being silly.
And
Right,
you
right,
get to
right.
decide. He doesn't. That's the key.
Yes.
Is that the dogs need to understand, yes, it's okay to get in the pool when you are allowed to, but
Mhm.
otherwise,
Right. And that's what my whole thing was like. Like he wouldn't, we could walk like through the pool, like our backyard goes through the pool, so I could walk through it and he would look and I'd say no, and then he'd go. But we had a party on Saturday and I was handing someone a towel and he took off and like lifted off into the pool. So it was so it's something that we're working on, but I guess it's a problem for everybody because everybody has pools. So,
not everyone.
well, I mean, like Florida. I just
Yeah,
meant like
I know.
Florida.
I know,
Well,
but
we went to the beach yesterday. We have friends in town, and so we went to the beach, and he was interested in the water, but not like the pool. So maybe it's just the kids were in the water, and it was just that whole idea, possibly. But otherwise, he's a rock star. We took him on an airplane, and he's been traveling with us, and we've been to carnivals, and we went to Bill Jackson's, which is here in Tampa, which is a gun range and like an outdoor store, and he didn't even matter about the guns. So it was great. He's doing a good job.
What I do with the puppies is I take them to the pool and we stand on the side and we watch and we go to the edge, but they're never allowed in. And apparently they stop being interested. They just think that's a no man's zone. They never, none of them have ever gotten to the point where they really pulled or wanted to go in the pool. They just go and they watch and they assume this is something they're not allowed to do, and they don't.
Well, I agree with that. Like our first dog was a puppy. And so we started with, no, this isn't your area kind of thing. And so we didn't have a problem with the puppy. It's the, Wasabi's 2 years. So he's been around pools before. So it's just that process. But I agree. Thank you.
one of the things we noticed in team training too is I know that all of the strictures in the manual say dogs should not be on the bed, but you need to try to find snuggle time with particularly the older dogs, so that they learn how to get up on a bed appropriately and lay down next to you without standing in the middle of you. Because lots of our clients want the dogs to be with them in their bed, to snuggle with them. If you're in a chair, it's really difficult, particularly those big power chairs. It's hard to reach the dog. And so when they're in their bed is one of the times they have where they can actually get to their dogs and pat their dogs and bond with the dogs. So
Laura, how's my example of snuggle time?
nice,
right now.
nice. Thank you. Good snuggle. Now that's a big snuggle right there. That's like all caps snuggle.
He doesn't
But
realize he's not supposed to be little spoon.
And one of those things is, no, they don't just get to jump up on the bed whenever they want to. They have to wait to be invited. It's kind of like the pool. But they do need to know how to appropriately get up on the bed and lay down next to you. So if you need a morning snuggle, or you're going to take a nap and you want to do a little training session.
Yeah, because sometimes if that's the first time they've ever gotten on a bed, they're like crazy. Where if we teach them appropriately, I mean,
Yeah,
we
if
don't
you've
want
ever
them
seen those
on the bed.
videos of the dogs on a trampoline, a dog that's not been on a bed is kind of like, whoa, look at what this does. This is really cool. And you don't want them doing that with a fragile individual.
Yep.
Popping in for a quick second here with the whole, I got distracted for a moment, but I think we were still talking about beds, but I was actually thinking about that myself last night. D'Angelo has been going through a bed phase the last week where he keeps trying to get on, and it's not been awful. But when he got to us in April, he jumped on the bed. I told him to get off, and he managed to step on my face twice, getting off, front paws and then back paws. And like my face was all red for a couple hours, and he smashed the crap out of my glasses. So I was just thinking I'd have to talk to Janet and Amy, but maybe introducing something that deals with how to get up appropriately. Don't jump right on the person like Mandarin does, and he takes out Russ, right in the core. So yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
Some of our dogs can get up on the bed without making a ripple.
Just not the ones in my house.
Well, Nebula right now, she can magically just appear on the bed. And it's like, how did it even feel you get up there? She's just got this really soft touch, which would be really nice if you were a medically fragile individual. Thanos, on the other hand, not so much. He's a bit of a muchness. Timon, boom, I said Thanos. I meant Timon. He's just all over. Here I am. Yeah. You called me. You said up. You said jump on. Here I am. Yeah. I gotta filter that one back a little bit. That loose leash walk. How are we doing? How are we doing, loose leash? I'm not even seeing any of you anymore. In terms of probably the most important thing, that and the retrieve. And some of our dogs are just, the retrieve is just not there in their wheelhouse. Oh, Kenny, you're at the pool. Very nice. We've had a snuggle. We've got how to deal with the pool. Debbie, if you're talking, you're muted.
Okay. I just have this weird thing with loose leash walking where Lace will walk very nicely at a heel or at side, and then she speeds up 3 or 4 steps, she'll go fast, and then she'll drop back down again. And she keeps speeding up for a little bit, and then she'll settle down. So I don't know why she feels the need. I'm walking at a regular pace, but she keeps trying to walk faster than I am, and then she'll drop back. What is that all about? Is she just trying to lead me and then realizes she can't, or she's not supposed to? Or it's like she wants me to go faster.
Have you tried switching up your pace and going
Really
slow and then medium and then faster? Because it might just be that she's kind of bored.
Maybe. I normally go at a pretty regular pace, and I have slowed down a little bit or tried to speed up a little bit, but I keep, I give her a correction and ask, tell her to give her a command to either stay at a heel or stay at a side position. But I just didn't know why she keeps like changing the pace on me when I thought she should
I don't
follow
know the
my
answer to
pace.
that question.
So
I would try the changing pace like in Target or in Walmart where there's a long aisle. Just kind of to try it there before you try it outside.
okay. I honestly haven't taken her, and I was telling this to Wendy recently. Well, I was out of town for 3 weeks and she was with Kelly,
Right.
and you and Kelly. And then she went into heat. So she's been at home in heat for several weeks. And she was wearing diapers. This is another question I have. She was peeing in her diaper in the house, even though every time we took her out, we take it off so she could go out and do her business out in the yard. But inside, when she was wearing the diaper, she would just pee in her diaper, which is, I thought, what are you doing that for? I mean, she's house trained, so she shouldn't be doing that. Do you know what that's all about?
I don't.
It was like a little kid.
Astronaut. Yeah, training to be an astronaut. I don't know.
She was just wetting her pants, it was like, wait a minute, I go to the door, I'll take it off, you can go out and do your business. So it was just odd that, she did that 2 or 3 times.
If it makes you feel any better, Deb, Hedwig was younger, but she had gotten spayed recently with us, and we put one of Velma's reusable clean diapers on her because she wasn't liking the cone, and we ended up getting a spacesuit instead because Hedwig kept pooping in the diaper. Again, before that, she had not had any accidents in our house, and afterwards she did not. But the diaper was on, and she stopped asking. She just pooped right in it, and we were like, "No, you're not a baby."
Yeah,
Don't know why, but it was happening.
Well, she pooped in it once too, but I didn't want to get too graphic about that. She kind of looked like, uh-oh, I gotta go. And
Well, if you want to hear a magic trick, Emmy came out of prison recently and was in heat, and she had a diaper on there. And we just brought her into the house after unloading her from the van, and I left her there because the unneutered males were going for her when we were unloading her. So they're all out going potty. I told Emmy, I'll be back in 5 minutes, and then you can go potty. I come back in. She pooped while wearing the diaper, but got none of it on the diaper, only on the floor. But the diaper was still on her. It was magic. I don't understand how it was. I just still can't get over it.
wow.
Hey, Lindsay was learning tricks in jail in that
Yeah,
prison
right.
tube
Anyway,
underwear.
maybe enough poop talk. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, going through a heat cycle this is our first time doing that, so we're learning, you know, how to deal with all that. But anyhow, so I'll work on the loose leash walking, changing up my pace. So she stays with me regardless of how fast I'm going.
Now, see, I don't know. It might help. It might just be that she's, let's see if we can do this. Oh, nope, we're gonna stay here. Okay.
Okay.
I think sometimes when I'm walking Wasabi, like he's like, is the leash still on? I must check. And so he tries to take off, and then he's like, oh yeah, it's still on. I'm good. And then he'll walk nice again, and then he's like, maybe it's gone now, and he'll take off. So it's I think sometimes they're just trying to figure out what's going on and who's in charge.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Who's in charge? Other questions, concerns, travel things. We had some successful car trips. We've had successful plane trips. Any other for the good of the order?
Laura, do you know when Brightline opens, if that's going to allow service dogs in training?
I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't. I'm going to act like they're going to, because in September I plan to try it. Yeah, I would assume, and you know, about assumptions, but I have not heard anything to the contrary, so I'll just show up and act like, well, of course you do. Sunrail's been so good about it. I would be really surprised if Brightline doesn't.
You could reach out and during their soft opening, see if they want to let us all ride it for free as a promo tester thing.
Yeah, maybe our September in person.
They'd have to comp them because it's cheaper to fly to Miami than to ride on Brightline.
We took Voyage to Miami this past weekend, and he did great in the car ride. We took him on the Metro rail, and he did fabulous there too. He wasn't scared of the noises in the city. He walked on the street. He pooped in the condo, the area that they have for the dogs to poop, which is like an what is it? The fake grass, surf it, well, whatever, the turf, and he did great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Valerie was brave enough to do a weekend travel trip with me, and we took Hagrid. Thanos was an old pro at it, but Spirit, no, who do we fly? Allegiant. That's the only one we can fly. Allegiant was really great about us, but I would definitely recommend, because they want to put you in the middle seat in the very front, to talk to the gate agents for new seats when you get there. Rather, because we didn't want to buy a seat. So they just assigned us front middles which is great with a service dog.
That's weird because I had 3 of us flying with Biltmore and I didn't buy a seat either. And they gave us like, it was the 5th or the 6th row and they gave us ABC all
Yeah.
next to each other. So I was
Well,
I was impressed. I was like, okay,
yeah. Well, I mean, but that's 3 people, whereas we booked it as 2 individuals.
gotcha.
So they gave us we both ended up with middle seats on different rows.
It might have been that other people had already bought like the window and aisle in those rows, so they couldn't take those away. Because in the past, I've been given like a bulkhead window seats. So also the earlier you can kind of plan it and get the information to them so that they pick a good seat for you is probably also helpful.
That's a good point.
True.
And my experience has been almost the exact opposite. I've been put very near the rear of the plane with the service dog, which is great fun because then you get to do the entire aisle. So that if anybody has any little things tucked under their desks, their chairs, or in their laps, you get to see them all.
Did you guys already deal with the anal gland issue that Faith had put in the chat?
No, we have not. We have talked,
Okay.
but not anal glands.
So Faith, is that happening like often?
Well, it happened and we got him groomed and they did the external, whatever, release of his anal glands.
Right.
And London, what?
He broke up.
Oh. So at the groomer, they squeezed his anal glands.
Right. Expressed
And
them.
it seemed to be, yeah, they expressed them, whatever. But they did it from external because I was like, I had pugs with the issue and I did not like when they did it internally. And so I didn't let him do that to him at the groomer. And London thinks he's still doing it a little. And I rarely see him do it. I don't know what she's seeing, but he swears, oh, he did it 5 times in 24 hours. And I was like, but I'm wondering what the general consensus is among Goldens and New Horizons.
So I think it varies by dog. I mean, I've had some dogs that never do it. And I have some dogs that, like Micah, just did it the other day for the first time. He's been with me since February. It was the first time I saw it. I was like, oh, is that a thing? And I haven't seen it since. So I think it varies by dog.
Does he scoot? When he had it, did he scoot? Yeah.
He scooted. Yep.
And then the scent. Yeah.
And there was no scent.
No?
No.
Dang.
No. He scooted.
There is-
And so, I've heard sometimes it's an itchy butt. I've heard it's anal glands. It depends. It really depends. It varies literally by dog.
DeNozo scoots periodically, but we have not, he's not expressing his glands when he does it. I
Right.
think he has an itchy butt.
I thought that's what he had too. But they said there were stuff in them or whatever, So I don't know.
So if they,
But I've had pugs and they tend to get it, but I've had some just like that, never need it, and some that. So I wondered if how Goldens work, because I've never had Goldens before. So if they're just the same, what if you have one that's like definitely, expressing them?
Yeah, then you want to take them to the vet and let the vet express them if it seems to be an issue.
Internally? Because they have like 2 ways they can do it.
I don't even know what internally I used to do my, oh gosh, I think it was
They had this one vet was like, there's external that like a groomer will do, and then there's like internal. It's weird. And I'm like, no, that seems too weird to me. So I'm like,
then must be I'm only familiar with the external.
Yeah, okay. I'll ask my vet to
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, me too, actually. I never even Googled it, but I'll take him to the vet and see.
Well, the internal is where you stick your finger up their butthole just a little bit.
Yeah.
to get to that gland, and so you have one finger up the butthole and one finger squeezing from the outside to express the gland.
Oh, yep, that's what it is. Yep, it says you.
I didn't even
Oh
know
my
you
God,
could.
you
I didn't even
Googled
know.
it.
So if you're doing it externally, you're just squeezing from the
Yep.
two sides with
Yep.
your
Yeah.
fingers kind of vertically.
Yep.
So
Where's the safe?
It's better not to know about the internal one though. Siri had infected anal glands and we had to do that at the vet regularly. And trust me, it was not fun being part of that.
No, that's what I mean. I had a situation with a pug where they did that and it wasn't good. So that's why I was kind of hesitant, but I'll see what my current vet says. I trust him.
I know though that Janet's preference is for vets deciding if it's necessary over groomers doing it every time they get groomed. Overall, Janet thinks less is more. And I think I've even heard her say that doing it too often can maybe make it into a recurring cycle.
Yeah, I hear that too. Yeah. He only had his done this one time that when he was groomed, Biltmore. So I will check with the vet and see too. Thanks.
Is there something related to when they're nervous, they can express? Because when I had Cairo previously at the vet, he did it, but it was just, he's a nervous farter. So I figured it was related.
It can be a stress thing. Sure can. Or when they're scared.
Reading the box.
Wow, this one's been fun. We've talked about poop. We've talked about blow jobs. We've talked about this has been a real amazing evening. Now we're talking anal glands. It's just the hits keep coming.
And it's being recorded too.
Yep. I thought about it a while before I said it. I just put a link to the AKC, everything you want to know about anal glands in dogs. So there you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everything you need to know. So we'll see. Well, we've had a solid 45 minutes. Wendy, do you have anything else for the good of the order? Or it looks like folks have gotten quiet. After that, it's hard to follow up those particular instructions. If you're reading the chat, if you're following along in the chat, it's getting a little graphic.
Yep, just a tad.
Now, I don't think that you meant this by sharing that, Wendy, but we're definitely not advocating for razors to internally.
No.
Just for
No,
clarification.
No. You want to do it to your own dog, that's fine. But no, don't do it. No, if you think a dog
Heck no, I would never
Horizons
do it.
has an issue, take them to the vet. Yeah, but I wanted you to know what the difference was between internally and externally. There is a difference. I didn't realize that. I used to do my dogs externally. My own dogs, my own personal pets. But not.
Dude, I never did anybody. I took them all to the vet.
No, yeah, externally was, I just did it outside when I was giving them a bath. It was no big deal. I mean, I guess it's a big deal when something comes out. I guess that's a big deal, but it didn't bother me. So yeah, I would not advocate for you to try this on your own. Take them
Don't try this.
do it. And also, if you do, let New Horizons know. Shoot Caitlin an email.
Oh, trust me, I'm not doing it. I'm just asking if I thought I might want to give the vet some information.
Right,
from
but if
New
you
Horizons,
do,
but,
if
I don't know.
anybody takes their dog to the vet for anal glands, you should let Caitlin know so that they have a record of when that dog that's been done.
What? Is it exciting?
Yes. Okay.
So following up on that, Does every dog need to have their anal glands expressed at some point in time? It's just if they're acting like they're in.
They'll let you know. They'll let you know.
Okay.
They
They
could be
will.
scooting or
It's
they
a
could
really bad
smell weird.
smell.
Or well, they could be licking at it too. I know I always bring up my own dog and these, all right, baby, thank you. But she had infected anal glands for a while because of food allergies, and she never scooted, but she was literally trying to chew them out of her body. So yeah, I'd say scooting, licking, chewing, or if they just stink. Sometimes they just smell.
Yeah.
And it's a fishy, nasty kind of smell.
Horrible.
And oh, by the way, in the AKC site, it says most dogs go through their lives without ever having an issue.
Yep.
So
If
no,
their
this
poops
is
are healthy, they should just do it
But
every time
pugs
they
do
poop.
tend to have it for some reason. That's why I
Said
only knew.
pugs. Well,
Yep.
pugs are kind of weird, Faith. No offense, but they're a little.
So it
Don't you
happens
diss my pugs.
naturally. It just happens naturally when they
Yep.
go poop.
Yep.
As
When they
long
go
as they're
poop,
not
it just happens.
constipated or
Yep.
diarrhea.
Okay.
Yep.
Can I change the subject? This has been the weirdest, awfulest call we've ever had.
Well, people want to know, and inquiring minds,
Okay,
we have
all right.
to tell them.
I'm going to change to a common problem that is not all of that oriented.
Okay.
I have a very not calm dog. I've had him for about April, May, June, July, 4 months. He's still not calm. You know, I take him out on a lot of visits. I tell people, no, don't. He's in training. Please don't touch my dog. And they stand there and they go, okay, I won't touch your dog, but he's so cute. Just look at him. He goes wild. Okay, trying to get to that person that continues to, oh, so cute, so cute. Smack him. And he just goes wild. I try to get him to sit, stay, settle. I mean, he could be, gets to the point where he's scraping the tile because he's so excited that somebody wants to talk to him, pet him. Oh,
Cheryl, how old is Hockey?
a year and 9 months.
Okay. So do you have some place that you can take him that's super busy that you could just sit and he has to just watch? Like the pool or just somewhere where there's a lot of activity, but I mean, you may even want to take a sign with you. No, you cannot, whatever. But I'm just saying somewhere where it's super busy that he just has to sit at your feet.
I could try to go to one of our concerts here, the squares, but so many people have so many dogs there, on zip lines and all kinds of that. I've kind of not gone there because of.
How about, do you have a kid playground in your area?
No, but I could go to Leesburg.
I'm thinking somewhere that's busy.
Target.
You have to be in a downstay.
A Target has a bench out front. A shopping center like that has lots of traffic, foot traffic going by.
Cheryl, Kenny was just at the pool, so at least the audience is contained in the water.
Yeah.
I take them to Publix a lot, and we sit in the bench where the exit is, and we just sit there and watch the people go in and out. And if they act like they want to talk or play, I just kind of put my hand up and just shake my head. I said, he's working on some skills right now.
Yep.
And they just right on walking, and we just sit there, and eventually he lays down and just watches the people. I
could try that. I've taken him to water volleyball, and if the people are in the pool, he's fine. It's the ones that come up and then insist on.
Right. Well, and so what you would hope is that wherever you go, you would hope that some people would approach him, but you've got him in a downstay already. You're seated yourself, and the goal would be for you to say, I'd put your hand out and say, I'm sorry, he cannot make a friend. And
Okay, I'll try that. I'll try sitting outside where they're going in and out. I'll try that.
When Micah started in the store, he's 2. He was about 2 when he started. He had a really hard time. Kids come in so I make him lay, and he's not always necessarily behind the counter, but he's at my feet. and he'll hear them come in the store because a bell rings, and then we're right by the slushy machines. And so the kids will come over and ask for a cup, and they'll stand within, this far of his nose. And at first he'd be like, oh my God, let me make a friend. But now, after 2 months of him doing that a couple times a week, he now knows that he cannot make a friend. He just can't. Sometimes at the end of the night, like the last person coming in at 10 of 10 or whatever, I'll let him. But for the most part, people walk in, they'll be like, oh, and they'll talk to him. Oh my God, he's so cute. And I'm like, yep. Can I say hello? No, I'm sorry. He's working, and we're training him to ignore people like you. And so
I try. They keep on.
I know. And I just am, it must be my RB, what is that? RBF.
My response to this is we're working on some skills right now not tonight, but I just tell them we're working on some special skills tonight, and they usually just walk away.
I know, but the thing is it doesn't matter. I mean, I have the leash cord, I have stickers, I have, it's like, even if you wear a shirt that says, no, you cannot pet my dog, it's like, people will stand there and say, I'm so sorry, puppy, I can't pet you because you're so cute and your mama won't let me.
Right. And you know what? That's okay though. Let them do that.
I know, but it's just like, I mean, how do you train people? Where's the class about training people?
Yeah. Well, that's when you
Big stupid.
It's good for the dog for them to be making a fuss over him and him not to be able to respond. That's where Wasabi. That's where Micah has gotten to.
Okay, well, I'll try. He's the first one that I've had that has been such a spaz.
And he's still young, he's still young.
So you might want to try and that the one trainer, it was had me doing it, and with like family and then friends. So actually, give the dog to, a family member, and whenever, and you approach the dog and see if the dog, stands or tries to go to you, and then have the dog sit and stay again. And you back up, you stop, you back up, have the dog sit and stay, and then you approach again. You do the sounds.
You're talking about a calm dog though, Curtis. This dog goes spastic.
Even with family and friends?
Yes.
So that's where you would start, family.
You're in the teenager phase.
Yeah.
The teenager phase.
No, he's a year and 9 months, isn't he?
Oh, I thought he was just 9 months.
No, a year and 9 months, but he's still young.
Yeah, he's still young. I mean, he's getting better in the house, but not when we go out.
Yeah, so
we go somewhere every day.
Yeah, Micah gets excited. There's one guy who has treats on his golf cart, and Micah knows who it is and what the golf cart is, and we really had to work on him not pulling toward me down the street to this golf cart. He'd look at every golf cart and he would know when this guy went by. So we've had to work on it. It's hard though, and he's 2, and he'd be like, "Oh my God, that guy has treats." So thankfully the guy left the park. So now
Sure. For Cheryl, it can be tricky to advocate for yourself and tell people no. I found, I'd say walk away, but follow, like before you leave. I always go, I know he's so cute. It's hard to resist. I'm sorry. And then just remove yourself from the situation and get Hockey somewhere where he's far enough that he can calm down. And hopefully none of these people are crazy enough that they follow you. Although I know there was one guy one time when I first started where Kayak was laying between my legs at the Dollar Tree, and he didn't even say anything, but he came up behind me and like got down and tried to go between my legs to pet Kayak, and I was like, sir, back off now, please. So hopefully you don't meet anybody like that. But yeah, you just got to be forceful sometimes.
Yeah, I have the no down. Is Hockey doesn't have the settle down.
Well, I'm thinking maybe if you can get him, moving in the opposite direction, we're going to do something else, maybe it'll be enough to distract him until you can get him to settle. But I guess maybe that's something we can look at in practice. Are you coming to Daytona this weekend?
Yes.
So we can all kind of maybe help Cheryl in an appropriate way of getting him a little worked up, but not letting him jump on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't smile, Cheryl. That's part of your problem. You look too friendly.
I look like in a panic, though. I go, no, that's how I look. No.
Come on, mister.
Hey, Caitlin, if you send me who's coming, I'm gonna make name tags for people this time.
I don't know who's coming, but I can try to. Well, I have an idea of who could be coming, and I guess if we have a few extras, would it be the end of the world? If they're not hard to make. Okay, I can send you a rough list.
Okay.
And Cheryl, I'll
Yep.
post on the Friends of New Horizons page and ask folks that are planning to come to comment that yes, they are. And then you can check that.
Okay. As long as it is like a list, and I don't have to keep going back and forth and look.
Well, it should just be a comment thread.
Okay, good.
Well, I can always send it to you too after a day or so, and it seems like nobody's commenting anymore.
Okay, that'd be great, Caitlin.
Caitlin, also, if we go wedding style, see what name tags are left over and who didn't show up.
Right? That'll be easy attendance.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, no, because I want them to return their tags so that we have them the next time. That won't work. I don't want to make.
I don't think that this applies to anybody on here, but we did start a new puppy raiser Zoom class last week. So if you know of anybody, we're going to do 3 Zoom classes, and then we're encouraging anybody who is interested in being a new raiser to come to the training this Saturday. So if you know of anybody, we're trying to catch people on the front end and give them some training and some information and about New Horizons and what it entails and the commitment before they jump in. So if you know anybody who is interested in being a raiser, this will be a good time for them to jump on. It's tomorrow night at 7:30, and we kept it to 45 minutes. And at 45 minutes, they were done. Anybody who wanted to stand extra could, but we did it for 45 minutes. So last week was basically just information about the program, the whole from puppy to being placed. And I think we talked about a couple of other things. So this week will be about commands and some other things. So anyway, that's something new that we're trying, and we're hoping to catch new raisers at the beginning so they have more information going into being a puppy raiser, because it is a big commitment.
Are you getting attendance at that, Wendy? Do you have a list?
So Cheryl's 2 people showed up last week. Melissa Robinson was there. Who else was there? Laura? I can't remember.
I didn't take attendance at that one.
I think Karen was there, wasn't she?
Karen Rush was there. Yep. And I was hoping that the 2 raisers who are new, Nora and Kristen, I think would be there because they're brand new, but
I sent it to them, but I'll make contact. I'll make sure they got the email. I'll call them.
Okay. Yeah. So we have this tomorrow night and then the next week.
Okay.
And so, yeah. So the goal would be for anybody who wants to be a raiser in the future, like down the road, this not necessarily right, but for them to have to go through this before they get a dog. Just because we feel that it's a big, like I said, it's a big commitment, and we want to make sure that people are prepared for it and understand that this isn't just a cute little fluffy puppy that you're bringing home to play with, or a big fluffy puppy. That it's
and that you know the commands so that you know the dog's language when you get the dog.
Yep.
If you've got a prison pup, you need to know their language. And if you've got a puppy, you need to teach it the right words. So
Yep. Truth. You speak truth, Laura.
Most of the time.
Yes. So it is 7:03. If nobody has anything, I think we're done, right, Laura?
It's 8:03.
Oh, right. Okay, you're correct. It is 8:03. But in Tennessee, it's 7:03.
Yep, and I gotta go, so I'll see y'all.
Wow.
I'll stay on if you have any questions that regarding just your dog, but otherwise we are formally finished. It's good to see you guys. Thank you for everything you're doing for our puppies.